Shout out to all you R-Space fans out there. Got an interesting one in this episode. The title goes like this. I, 28 male, am unsure if wife, 27 female, is cheating on me with a guy she says is gay. Well, this could get awkward and interesting. Let's see how it goes. My wife and I have been married for about a year and a half and have known each other for a little over 8 years now. I will be honest with you all. I did cheat on her about 2 months into the relationship. We were long distance for the first 10 months or so, with a friend I had known for years. It was a moment of weakness, naivete, and have regretted it since that happened. I confess that I did cheat on her, but we worked things out over time, and I grew into a much more mature person. Again, I know it sounds terrible, and I honestly am embarrassed and regret it every day. So background on our relationship. We are mainly shut-ins and don't really go out to do much other than meals or a random event like apple picking or meeting my wife's friends. We never go to bars just for the fun of it or anything. Since the pandemic started, we live in the US, she's really gotten into watching Netflix a lot more. She's gone through at least 10 shows by now and is constantly watching something, whether it's during breakfast or doing makeup in the morning. I have no issue with this, unless I try to talk to her and she's got the volume up and can't hear me. So I let her enjoy her shows. But recently, she started acting slightly different. She recently received a promotion and got a substantial pay raise. Believe me, during a pandemic, we got extremely lucky. But since then, she'd acted slightly different. She now goes out to dinner or a bar with her new coworkers at least once a week, which again, I have no problem with at all. I get my guy time playing video games. But one day, about a month or so ago, she says she was meeting a guy at a local bar for a bit. She reassured me that he was gay and told her as long as he doesn't make a move, I won't be upset with her seeing him. Since then, they've met 3 or 4 times for drinks and an appetizer. Nothing was really bothering me until I saw her phone and was curious. I saw that she had asked him if he was stopping by for a visit today at work. I stopped and didn't read anymore. With her watching her shows and going out with her gay friend, she's been quiet around the house. Last night really got me concerned because before she was getting ready to shower, she sent me a Facebook message about some random post that talked about how amazing it was to have a man that she had no concerns about. Someone you trust with your heart completely and would never turn their back on you. To never wonder where he is or when he's coming home. To never wonder if their love is real. Believe me when I say she has never sent me anything like this before. It was one of those posts your mom would send about having a son or daughter who's amazing, and it is so unlike her to send something like that. Since I saw her messages to her gay friend, I've been dying inside to find out more. She carries her phone around everywhere, and she's a super light sleeper. I'm losing sleep over it, and I'm terrified to really see what she is saying. I've become even more paranoid, and now think everything she does or buys is for this guy. We are running low on condoms, and she bought more on Amazon. I laid awake last night wondering if she was going to sneak some with her. I just need to find out what is going on, and if my worries and paranoid are warranted and make sense. Other information, we are part of her family's Life 360 app, where locations and drive times are shown on a map. Mother-in-law is super nice, but gets paranoid. So with this, I can see that she does go to the bars she said she goes to. Update. So, things took a turn for the worse in my case. After the handful of meetups between my wife and her coworker, who she claimed is gay, the messages that raised some alarms, and the fact that she says she stays at work late so she doesn't have to come home, I still needed some concrete information to be 100% done with this situation. Well, I received that information. The past couple of nights, I've been lying awake with knots in my stomach, waiting for a chance to look at her phone while I slept. She's an incredibly light sleeper and will wake up and roll over at the slightest move or noise. After 2 nights of hardly any sleep, I just said screw it, and I was able to sneak over and grab it and run to the bathroom to look, and I'm so glad I did. Come to find out, she has his notifications muted in iMessage so they don't pop up on screen when he texts her. You would think, if they were just innocently talking, he wouldn't be muted. Over the next 20 minutes, I read through all the texts, but there were only ones from yesterday. So she's been deleting her texts too. The conversations were broken up with missing texts and were hard to get a grasp of the degree they were talking or flirting. Then I get to the texts that pushed me over the point of no return for this relationship. This is what she said in a series of texts. For reference, W is wife, G is guy. Text 1. Guess I'm going to start looking for apartments. Oh, fun. Where are you thinking about looking? I'm not sure. I would like to be close to work. We live about 40 minutes from her work. I know, right? This struggle. I don't think I could handle being more than 10 minutes out of a city. I'm too impulsive, huh? Me too. I haven't been able to be my impulsive self in a long time. I want to be impulsive again. Text 2. I need a fun getaway, especially since I can't go home. Still unsure what she really means. It was in the middle of the day while she was at work. Text 3. I think I'm just going to go home. I pulled over by blank. I'll just stay in the other room. Again, I have no idea the context of her message because the ones before must have been deleted. That works too. I don't want to be a pussy. Can we smoke soon? She never smokes anything and hasn't since I've known her. We sure can. Okay, you just say when. Text 4. Backstory. She's enrolled in a graduate degree and started classes yesterday and said she had this super hot professor who's built and is a veteran. She accidentally sent it to him instead of her other coworker. I have to be professional with him. Number 1, he's my professor. Number 2, I'm married, unfortunately. Number 3, he could be a good reference. I've been shaking all night and all day just knowing that this is going on behind my back and isn't some innocent conversation between coworkers. The worst part about it is, she just goes on like nothing is going on. Tries to joke around and say she loves me and to have a great day. She isn't even fazed. I want to let you all know that I never in a million years would have thought this would happen. This is not the type of thing she would ever do. She knows how much I mean to her family. They love me, and I know how much my brother-in-law is going to be heartbroken. While there hasn't been any blatant evidence that she is cheating with him, per se, she clearly doesn't want to be with me. We just got married 1.5 years ago. We haven't even lived in our new house for a year yet. Sure, one could chalk it up to COVID, but she worked for a mental health hospital. She knows techniques to stay away from negative thoughts and feelings. She's all about talking things out, and she has not said anything like her being unhappy or bored. Besides being in lockdown, or anything at all. I can't even look at her without feeling like I'm going to throw up. My plan? Keep getting all the texts that I can saved and contact a lawyer. I don't care what she has to say for herself at this point. Hopefully, I can get all this done without her knowing and then just dropping the divorce in her lap. Luckily, we don't have any shared accounts other than our mortgage, which I hope would stay with me because I have evidence that she wants an apartment. And our phone plan. I just don't know how I would handle losing my dogs or cat to her. Any other suggestions would be happily accepted, unlike my apparent marriage. Update 2. She doesn't know that I know. Tomorrow, my mom is planning on coming over to our house in the morning to help me pack my things, as I will be staying with them through all of this. I've been running the conversation through my head and a handful of sleepless nights since finding out she's been saying these things. It feels both bittersweet and relieving at the same time. It's going to hurt to have to see the face of the woman I had fallen so hard for drop when I reveal how I know. But at the same time, she has made it clear she is not happy, and rather than talking to me about it, she bashes our marriage to a guy she, I'm assuming, has a crush on. Either way, she has made the decision to divorce her an easy one, and now, after some time feeling sad about it, I feel it is a fresh start for me, and I'm relieved that we don't have any kids together. I will update this on how she responds soon. I hope many of you find peace in your turmoil as I have so far. And on to the final update. Some missing info from the original post. I had never once snooped on her phone until this happened. I only found out about her conversation because her phone went off when she was in the shower, and we were expecting a grocery delivery, so I thought it was a shopper with a substitution request, but it was from him. Her last text I was able to see before I left was her saying, "Be glad you don't know all of my failures, like my marriage." Laughing emoji. Too soon. Laughing emoji. To answer many of your questions, I did go through with it, and we both have lawyers dealing with the paperwork now. The day went similarly to what I was preparing for, but I did not deliver the news to her in person. I changed my mind once everything was packed by 10 a.m. and didn't want to terrorize myself with the wait until 5 or 6 p.m. to have a 5-minute conversation, knowing I wouldn't change my mind. Looking back, I am glad I did, because I had let her parents know around lunchtime, and her mom and sister came out, so I would have been bombarded by everything. Like many of you also noted, she denied everything I told her I knew on the phone, saying she never muted his conversations and that she only muted her other coworker. But I had saved all the texts that were demeaning and told her I saw it all and asked for explanations, especially for the fabricated story of having to stay at a hotel because I was screaming at her. All she said was that she wanted to feel needed and felt like I hated her. Keep in mind, I asked if there was anything going on or if she needed to talk to me and that I was open to talk whenever. The day after, she came crying back, saying she'll cut off all communication with the guy and was blaming me for not even wanting to try counseling. Knowing that she would not just stop talking to the guy at work and would only find some other way to talk to him, I refused. I did not want to waste the time and money beating around the bush with therapy or counseling when I knew I would never trust her remotely close to what I used to. I wanted to thank all of you who sent supportive comments and advice. To those of you who think I was in the wrong and needed to man up and deal with the situation, that is not who I am, nor who I should be. I knew after seeing all the messages, I would never forgive her. After so much time together, if she felt like she couldn't come to me with any issue and instead to go to this guy, who she's known for 6 months tops, then there isn't a trusting relationship present. We didn't have kids and only just bought the house. And now is the time to make that change before it's too late once kids get involved. I know things will only get better, and I hope to never have to make a post on here again.